Welcome back, collectors, and thanks for tuning in. Superman statues often chase spectacle, explosive poses, heat vision, and raw power. But Hush was never about spectacle. It was about restraint, control, and presence. This version of Superman by Prime 1 Studios in quarter scale doesn't shout. He simply exists, with absolute power and authority through stillness. Now, let's get into it.
But first, a little backstory is what I would normally say, but this is Superman. Everyone knows Superman. Superman occupies a strange space in fiction, not merely a hero, but an ideal. Strength without arrogance, power without chaos, and authority without menace. Hush captured something rare, a Superman not defined by force, but by composure. Oh my God. The Hush storyline, published in the early 2000s, redefined how an entire generation visualized these characters. Jim Lee's interpretation of Superman was precise: clean lines, heroic proportions, and minimal excess. This statue feels less like a reinterpretation and more like a translation. Hush-era designs aged remarkably well. They avoided stylistic gimmicks, which makes them ideal for sculptural performance. And it allowed for an epic confrontation between Batman and Superman.
Why stop there? Why not try my car, sleep in my mansion, get tipsy, and tongue kiss my butler? I know what I said.
Before we even reach the statue itself, there's the presentation. Prime 1 Studios has always understood something important. The experience begins long before the reveal. The Hush aesthetic is unmistakable: clean, minimal, slightly moody, less bombast and more intention. Even the box art reflects that philosophy, with restraint, authority, and composure. Where anticipation meets reality. For collectors, this ritual never gets old. The weight of the box, the density of the packaging, the quiet tension before confirmation. Because until you see it in person, it's all theoretical. And there it is, just one layer, slightly concealed. You can already sense the posture. Not aggressive, not exaggerated, but composed. As it's unwrapped, each component emerges. The design philosophy becomes clearer. No theatrical motion, no forced energy, and just beautiful colors. While Superman hovers calm and resolute, the base beneath him tells a very different story. Prime 1 chose to ground this statue in the ruined architecture of Metropolis, a fractured slice of the city Superman protects. The broken concrete evokes the aftermath of a battle. It's a visual reminder that the world he saves is often left scarred by the conflict that surrounds him. From a sculpting perspective, the base is loaded with texture. Cracked stone, jagged edges, and layered rubble create depth and realism. The Superman insignia prominently displayed front and center. Prime 1's painters use subtle weathering and tonal variations in the grays to give the environment weight and authenticity without stealing focus from the figure, and that balance is key. As we continue examining, the cape behaves like atmosphere rather than fabric. Soft movement, natural weight, no exaggerated drama. Restraint again, everywhere in this statue. Particular note would be the cross-hatching comic style of embellishment. It really exemplifies the heavy shading and dark recesses of the cape, giving it life while maintaining that comic vibe. Also, the size of the cape, I feel, is perfect. The paint application avoids artificial loudness. Blues remain rich but grounded. Reds feel deep, not glossy, and textures remain believable. Nothing screams with this statue. Everything speaks. It all flows elegantly. The musculature, definition, and proportions follow true to a classical Superman interpretation. He represents the epitome of what Superman should look like to me. A welcomed addition to this acquisition is the individual portrait stands, so you can display all 4 of the portraits properly. Very well balanced and weighted with strong magnets. It suits the statue perfectly, and I love the stone-etched Superman symbol. Oh, as I have the bonus edition from Prime 1, it included 4 separate portraits. The 4 portraits are where the philosophy crystallizes: calm, measured, confident, and one filled with aggression. No theatrical strain, just quiet certainty and stoic power in every pose. This statue really performs its magic, even at a distance. If you step back, the authority amplifies. Many statues reward inspections, few reward such stillness. Hush Superman dominates space through calm. And here we have the signature Comic Statues Unleashed assembly video and 360-degree vantage point. Prime 1 Studios clearly understood the assignment. This is not an action piece. It's a character dissertation. The relaxed stance, the subtle cape flow, the neutral, almost contemplative posture. Everything communicates control. Paradoxically, in a statue representing a Superman that was under Poison Ivy's control in the comic. Prime 1 Studios didn't attempt to reinvent Superman here. They refined and honed him. This is not a spectacle piece. It's a permanence piece. A statue that doesn't fatigue the eye. It doesn't compete for attention, and it won't age poorly. This Superman will remain just as formidable as any other statue for years to come. So, my final collector's verdict? It's that this is one of the paramount interpretations of Superman to ever exist, both in quarter scale and third scale. Superman has never required exaggeration, only conviction. And this piece understands that completely. Presence over power. And when you finally rest Superman beside his greatest adversary, the story becomes complete. Doomsday represents destruction without restraint, a force that exists only to break. Superman represents the opposite: restraint, hope, the choice to protect rather than dominate. The contrast is why this statue works so well. Prime 1 didn't simply sculpt a character here, they captured an idea. The quiet strength of a hero who stands firm no matter what rises against him. And when you see him here, standing tall over the ruins of Metropolis, you're reminded why this symbol has endured for generations. Because hope, when it's truly tested, never falls. And remember, collectors, keep your passion for collecting alive and your love for superheroes soaring.